What if everything you've been told about violence in Black communities is a lie? Not just wrong, but deliberately designed to keep you from seeing the truth. We hear it everywhere: Black on Black crime, a phrase repeated in newsrooms, political speeches, and casual conversations. But what does it really mean? Was it born from the reality of our communities, or shaped by the systems that control them? Dr. Amos Wilson, psychologist, scholar, and visionary. His book, Black on Black Violence, written in 1990, was not just about crime statistics. It was a deep examination of how oppression, economics, and psychology work together to produce violence within the Black community. Tonight, we're going to explore his most important ideas and why they still matter today. Wilson argued that we cannot understand Black on Black violence outside the history of slavery and systemic racism. Violence in Black communities did not appear out of nowhere. It was cultivated in environments stripped of wealth, denied opportunity, and poisoned with oppression. Crime, he argued, is defined by those in power. When a corporation pollutes a neighborhood, they get a fine. When a young man from that same neighborhood steals to survive, he goes to prison. Wilson asks us to see that crime is political. It's about who has the power to define what is punishable. Black communities, Wilson explains, are structured as colonial economies. Wealth flows out of Black neighborhoods and into white hands, just like resources flowed out of colonized nations. Who owns the stores, the land, the buildings? Often, people who don't live there. Black people work, spend, and pay rent, but that money leaves the community. This is economic powerlessness. In neighborhoods where jobs disappear, schools collapse, and opportunity dries up, crime becomes the economy of survival. Black on Black crime is not the result of cultural failure. It is born from economic desperation. Wilson was clear. This isn't a justification, it's an explanation. Black communities have been deliberately impoverished and then offered illegal economies as a pressure valve. Wilson's most profound insight was psychological. When a people are denied dignity and power, they begin to internalize the very oppression that controls them. Instead of fighting the system, aggression is redirected inward, neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother. When we are constantly told we are inferior, constantly shown images of ourselves as criminals and thugs, something happens to the collective psyche. We absorb the stereotypes and enforce them on each other. A young Black man becomes suspicious, not because of what he's done, but because we've been taught to see young Black men as threats. We've been taught not to value Black life, including our own. Wilson saw the criminal justice system not as a neutral arbiter of justice, but as a tool of social control. Black people are arrested more, charged more harshly, and sentenced more severely than white people for the same crimes. Prisons, he argued, are the new plantations. They remove Black men from communities, destroy families, and create criminal records that guarantee people can never fully participate in the legitimate economy. The system then points to these statistics as proof that Black people are inherently criminal. It's a perfect circle. Create the conditions for crime, criminalize the response, then use the results to justify further oppression. Amos Wilson did not stop at diagnosis. He called for solutions. Economic empowerment, owning businesses, controlling land, and keeping wealth in the community. Political organization, building real power, controlling the institutions that govern our lives. African-centered education, teaching our children their true history and inherent worth. And community accountability, creating our own systems of justice that don't rely on police and prisons. Education, cooperative economics, and cultural unity were not luxuries. They were survival tools, the antidote to violence. Amos Wilson reminded us that Black on Black violence is not the disease, it is the symptom. The cure lies in power, unity, and self-determination. The question remains, will we address the root causes, or keep repeating the same destructive cycles. To honor Wilson's legacy, we must not only understand the problem, we have to become the solution.